Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspiring Best Living, where we talk about wealth creation, wellness, and well-nourished soul. My name is Remi Wesley Ogude, your regular host, and I'm very happy to be back on another episode of our wealth creation series. Today's topic is common mistakes people make in real estate investing. Making mistakes is common, it is human, and it is also inevitable. We all make mistakes, especially when we are starting anything new. When you are driving for the first time, you're likely to make a mistake. Or when you are in a new environment, when you have not understood the culture, when you have not understood the people, you might also make mistakes. Or when you are in a new job or in a new career, you may make mistakes. Or even when you are starting school, anything we are starting for the first time, we're likely to make mistakes. However, those mistakes are wrapped with very many blessings if we will learn from those mistakes. It's been said that the true mistakes we make is actually the mistakes we learn nothing from. So if you learn from your mistake, it will be an improvement in your journey. So in this episode, I want to first quickly look at different reasons why people make mistakes in their real estate journey. The first one is that people dabble into real estate without learning. I've also found myself in this situation. When I was starting, I started without learning properly. I didn't read adequate book. I didn't really prepare. I just dabbled into it. I wanted a mentor. I wanted someone to coach me. Unfortunately, I didn't have. I searched and I couldn't because some of these mentors are few and far between. You can hardly get them, at least as at the time I started. It was hard for me, but later I learned differently and I got a mentor. So that's one major reason why people make mistake in real estate. They actually just dabble into it. The second reason why people make mistake in real estate is because real estate itself is very complex. So when anything is complex, people are likely to make a lot of mistakes out of it. The third reason why people also make mistake in real estate is because they start one without being well grounded in it before they dabble into another one. There are different mistakes people make, but there are some that are very major. And I can tell you that making a minor mistake in real estate could have a very serious implication. The reason is because real estate itself is very complex. It's also highly capital intensive. So you don't want to dabble into it. In this episode, I'm going to consider some of the major mistakes that people make in real estate. The first one I want to look at today is inaccurate number crunching when people are doing their underwriting. When you are doing your underwriting, you need to actually make reasonable assumptions of your cost so that you will have a cash flowing property. But a lot of times people don't have proper number crunching. They don't factor basic assumptions as vacancy rates. Not that they don't factor at all. They may factor, but they may not use proper number. They may not use the right number when they are doing their number crunching. Things like insurance, also property tax, they may not factor it into their numbers when they are making their assumptions in their underwriting. That's a major mistake people make in their real estate investing. The second one is because people also buy wrong property that will not cash flow. Part of the reason is because they understate their expenses before they dabble into it. Sometimes they buy properties that will give them problem tomorrow. They have not looked at certain fundamentals before they buy the properties. So the second reason, because people buy wrong property that will not cash flow. The third reason is people also lack understanding of the fundamentals. There are some fundamentals that you have to consider before you go into real estate. You want to look at the neighborhood. Does it have good hospital, schools, amenities, maybe shopping centers where people can go and also do their shopping without sweating? Places like library and other amenities that will attract tenants to want to live in that area. So some of those things you have to consider very well, the fundamentals. Also, people lack understanding of the financing option. Sometimes people will just go to buy pre-construction because they just have to pay 5,000 for the first month and then pay another 5,000 maybe for another 60 days, another 90 days, another 10, 15,000. And they think because they can afford that initial deposit at that time, they don't think of the other financing options that they would require at closing. So they dabble into it because they can afford the initial deposit. At the time they are closing, they may be stuck because they don't have money or they don't have access to bank loan that can finance that property in a very profitable manner. That's another major mistake people make in their real estate investing. The other major reason is because people use very inexperienced realtor. The realtor you use for your residential property may not be the exact one that you might need for your investment property, just because that realtor may not have experience about investment property. So it's very important for us to have the right realtor who will look for good property for us when it comes to investment. The last one I want to quickly talk about is improper tenant screening. Tenants can make or mar one's real estate business. So you must have the skill of screening your tenant very well. You also must have understanding of tenant landlord board regulations because of eviction. Just in the unlikely event that one gets the wrong tenant, you must be able to know how to screen the tenant and also how to evict the tenant if the tenant is a wrong tenant. When I'm talking about wrong tenant, I'm talking about a tenant that you bring into your investment property who cannot parent, or who can parent but will damage your property in such a way that you will spend a lot of money to put the property back into shape. So you want to avoid those kind of tenants. And your screening skill is key in ensuring you have the right tenant. So having understood some of the mistakes that people make, what are the things we can do to avoid some of these mistakes? Mistakes are inevitable. However, doing your due diligence will help you to reduce the amount of mistake you can make in your real estate business. The first thing you want to do to be able to avoid some of these mistakes is to be able to read. You want to read, understand what real estate is all about. Read books. You can get some books on Amazon. You can also get books, even free online books that you can read from. And you can read also about those who have been successful in real estate, what they have done. They will share their information that can guide you on things that you can avoid, on the things you should do in order to be profitable in your real estate business. So reading is very helpful. You can also get a mentor to handhold you on the journey. You can start by connecting with them online, knowing the kind of things, reading their books, reading their resources, listening to their podcasts, their video, attending their training and conferences, even masterminds that can help you to build your skill in real estate. So it's so very important to be able to have a mentor and to be able to leverage on some of the resources they are provided even before you're able to connect with them, if that's so is your starting point. And the third one you can also do is to also practice underwriting. Practice, so that you make reasonable assumptions when you are factoring in your cost during your underwriting. The fourth one you can also do is to be familiar with tenant screening and landlord-tenant board. Landlord-tenant board is to be able to understand their regulation around eviction, but tenant screening is very important. Once you have the skill of screening your tenants very well, the possibility of having a wrong tenant that will not pay your rent or that will damage your property is reduced. So it's so very important to have very good tenant screening. So those are some of the various ways we can avoid some of the mistakes people make. The additional one I want to mention today is understanding the fundamentals. Understanding the fundamentals will include knowing things around the neighborhood where you want to invest in. You want to ensure that those neighborhoods have things like basic infrastructures, basic amenities like school, hospitals, library, community center, shopping malls, things that can make life easy for your tenants or that can attract tenants to come to live in your investment property. This is very important. So in rounding up, I want to say again that mistakes are inevitable, but once we learn from those mistakes, we should move on and we should not allow the past mistakes to prevent us from taking the right steps we need to make in order to continue on our real estate journey. It's been said that you cannot reach what is in front of you until you let go of what is behind you. And this is so very true. You don't want to allow your past mistakes to hold you down from continuing on the journey of your real estate investment. As I round up today, I want to remind us that this platform is to inspire us in three key areas: wealth creation, wellness, and well-nourished soul. Remember, you don't have to choose between being healthy and wealthy. You can have both as icing on the cake of a well-nourished soul. Please do not forget to share this video with friends, family, and those who can benefit from it. And also, don't forget to please subscribe by pressing the notification button so you can get new episode right away once it is produced. Until I come your way next time, I'm your regular host, Remi Wesley Ogude. Take care and bye.